Every year, we burn billions of liters of fuel, dig deeper into the earth, and build massive systems to survive, while ignoring something that can do all of it, naturally. There's a tree that can grow up to 15 feet in a single year. Its seeds contain up to 40% oil, clean enough to burn. Those same seeds can clean contaminated water in under an hour. And its leaves, packed with nutrients most foods can't even compete with. No factories, no supply chains, no dependency. And that should make you uncomfortable. Because this tree still exists today, growing wild across 40+ countries, often in the poorest regions on Earth. Which raises a dangerous question. If something this powerful already exists, why isn't it everywhere? Why are billions of people still struggling with access to clean water, reliable nutrition, affordable energy? When one biological system can support all three, why do governments invest trillions into infrastructure while ignoring decentralized solutions that require almost nothing to maintain? The answer isn't about capability, it's about control. Because systems don't just solve problems, they decide which solutions scale, which solutions disappear, and which ones you never hear about. And that's where the real story begins. This is the story of Moringa, a tree that supported civilizations for thousands of years, and then was quietly pushed to the edges of the modern world. But more importantly, this is about what happens when a solution cannot be owned. If you stay until the end, you'll understand how this tree solves multiple global crises at once, why it was ignored instead of adopted, and why it's starting to reappear in unexpected ways. If you want more hidden knowledge like this, subscribe. Thousands of years ago, in dry regions where crops failed, people didn't rely on complex systems. They relied on resilience, and one of those systems was a tree. They used everything: leaves as food, pods as vegetables, seeds for oil. But one detail changed everything. When water turned unsafe, they crushed the seeds, mixed them into dirty water, and waited. And then everything changed. Particles clumped together, sediment dropped, water became visibly clearer. They didn't know about proteins or binding agents. They only knew one thing: it worked. And that knowledge spread, quietly, across generations. As trade routes expanded, so did this tree. From India to Africa to Southeast Asia. Different soils, different climates. Same result: consistency. Then science confirmed it. Modern analysis shows Moringa leaves contain up to 25 to 30% protein, dry weight, all essential amino acids, high levels of calcium, iron, potassium. In comparative studies, more vitamin A than carrots, more calcium than milk, more vitamin C than oranges, more iron than spinach. But here's what matters most. This isn't just about nutrients. It's about output per square meter. A small plot can produce continuous, dense nutrition, without fertilizers, without complex systems. That's not efficiency. That's a completely different model. Here's the principle. The harsher the environment, the more powerful the plant's adaptation. Moringa survives drought, poor soil, extreme heat. And in doing so, it develops nutrient-dense leaves, oil-rich seeds, natural compounds for survival. And those same compounds become valuable to us. This isn't hype. This is biology responding to pressure. So again,
If it works so well,
Why isn't it everywhere? Because it breaks the system. Modern economies rely on recurring consumption, centralized production, controlled distribution. Moringa does none of that. Once planted, it keeps producing. Requires almost nothing. Reduces dependency. And that's the problem, because you can't build an empire on something people don't need to keep buying. Energy industries need continuous fuel demand. Agriculture needs repeated inputs. Infrastructure needs constant investment. Moringa removes all three. As industrial systems expanded globally, they replaced local solutions, resilient ecosystems, multi-use plants, with monocultures, chemical inputs, external dependency. Not because they were better, but because they were controllable. Moringa doesn't scale through corporations. It spreads through people. And that makes it invisible to systems built on control. But something changed, and this is where the story shifts again. As global systems became unstable, people started looking for alternatives. Researchers revisited overlooked plants, communities searched for resilience, and Moringa reappeared. Not as a trend, but as a rediscovery. A solution that never disappeared, just ignored. Let's make this real. One mature Moringa tree produces 400 to 600 seed pods per year, each with 15 to 20 seeds. Each seed up to 40% oil. That equals 3 to 5 liters of oil per tree annually. Multiply that across a village, and you get decentralized energy. Now the leaves. In warm climates, harvestable weekly, year-round production, providing protein, vitamins, minerals, continuous nutrition, not seasonal. Now water. One seed can treat about 1 liter of water. A single tree produces thousands of seeds, enough to support multiple households. Put it together. Energy, food, water. From one tree. That's not agriculture. That's a self-contained system. If you wanted to grow it, start simple. Warm climate or greenhouse. Well-drained soil. Full sunlight. Planting. Shallow hole. Light compost. Regular watering early. After that, minimal care. Strong growth. It becomes easier over time, not harder. Avoid this. Overwatering. Overcomplicating. Moringa thrives under stress. Too much care weakens its natural advantages. Year 1. Rapid growth. First harvest. Year 2. Plus. Stable production. Multiple uses. Long term. Low input. High output. Plant once. Benefit for years. Now imagine this. A place where food is uncertain, water is unsafe, energy is expensive, and in that same place, a tree grows, quietly solving all three. No infrastructure, no imports, no dependency. This isn't just about Moringa. It's about how the world chooses solutions. Some get scaled, others get ignored. Not because they don't work, but because they don't fit. The most powerful solutions are often the simplest. The ones that don't require constant input, don't create dependency, don't fit centralized systems. And that's why they're overlooked. So here's the real question. What else exists that we've stopped paying attention to? What solutions are already here, waiting to be rediscovered? Would you plant something like this? Tell me in the comments. And if you want more hidden knowledge like this, subscribe. Because sometimes the most powerful answers were here long before the problems.